lit, dark out, lit in the Ramona Court, stained glass windows. Look fine. And that's the cloister wing over there, which goes from basically tying into the mission wing by the Ramona Dome all the way out to the other dome there, which is called the Carmel Dome. That's the 1910-1911.
That's where my room is. I'm in 402.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, 402. Yeah. That's a great room. That's Aunt Alice's room.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Oh, I go back. I don't blame you.
Hopefully I won't see her.
Yeah, well, no, you won't see her, but you'll have a nice little balcony that's right.
Yeah, that has this view, the opposite view. Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, that's not Aunt Alice. I'm sorry, that's not. It's across the way from Aunt Alice. But that's a lovely little room. We show that at night on the Under the Stars tours. But anyway, that's the cloister wing. The room next to you, by the way, is where the Moorish architectural columns and area is called the Alhambra Suite. That's where we think that Nancy and Ronald Reagan honeymooned.
Oh, wow.
In 1952. It's where Richard Nixon, when he was senator, and Pat Nixon were staying when he received a telegram from General Eisenhower to be his running mate.
Oh, wow.
And the unfortunate part of the history for that room, it's where Robert Kennedy stayed before he was assassinated in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then anyway, from the Ramona Dome, basically where you see the Gothic architecture, that's the third wing of the hotel called the Spanish wing. It goes all the way across to where the clock is, and then takes a 90-degree turn and ties right back into the mission wing. That was done by 3 different architects. You can see the first 3 stories are a little bit different. Well, we can't see behind the bougainvillea very well, but the 4th story there was a separate architect, and then the Gothic area up at the top, which is called Author's Row, is done by his final architect, G. Stanley Wilson, who happened to be a Riversider, and he did the final wing of the hotel. The clock itself, not the face, because the face is a reproduction of the original that we have in our museum at the ground floor, where the foundation, the museum foundation, where we usually start tours from, is from Nuremberg, Germany, 1709. The clock still works. The clock face is about 25 years old. It's a replica of the original. But beneath it was an addition, where you see this is supposed to be Juan Bautista de Anza, the California explorer, or the explorer of California. Anyway, it was the genius again of, in this case, it was of Frank Miller's daughter Alice, and she was kind of like on. Go ahead. No. Kind of on her deathbed. She had cancer and was dying, and she thought, I want to have something that every 15 minutes, and it rotates. So there's 4 quadrants, total of 5 figures on it, meaning there has to be more than one figure on one of the quadrants. So we have St. Francis of Assisi, Father Junipero Serra, Juan Bautista de Anza, and then the final one is a Native American with a bow and arrow and a California bear. So it's the addition. It was about the mid-1950s when that was built. You notice that the mural goes only part way across. And that's because, again, as I had mentioned earlier, Frank Miller traveled so much, he relied on his architects to handle the day-to-day construction and decoration. Well, when Mr. Miller came back, so the story goes, he saw it, he loved it, but when he found out what it was costing him, the architect had imported this guy from Italy and was doing, Miller fired him and sent him back to Italy. There was plenty of opportunity to finish that. However, in 1977, the hotel was granted National Historic Landmark, meaning nothing on the exterior can be changed.
Right.
And that, unfortunately, is the exterior. But it's fortunate we have it, because there was a period of time, as I previously mentioned, that this hotel had decayed to such an extent that there was a lot of talk in Riverside about tearing it down and making it into a parking lot. until they got the National Historic Landmark designated, and then it has to stay. This is the